Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is your reading for the week of June 12th to the 18th, 2023. First, you have the Apprentice card. This came out for, I believe, Scorpio or some other group. It says higher education, knowledge, beliefs, and wisdom. So some of you guys might be thinking about your education. I'm seeing a lot of like university schooling, where you're going to take that. Some of you guys might be contemplating taking on a new program, some type of credited course, or earning some type of certificate. Also, I'm seeing here you may be taking on some type of student, apprentice, something of that. There's something here that has to do with finding the right teachers for yourself, as well as finding the right students for yourself. And there's this beautiful archetype in this world, you know, the teacher is always perpetually the student, and the student is always perpetually the teacher. It's something that I believe in very strongly. You can be a master teacher at something, and the reason why you reach that master level is because you are always this student archetype, always learning more. I don't know why, that just gave me the chills. So I don't know, I'm seeing something there with that type of energy in this week for you. So it doesn't even have to be like a more professional type of setting where you're like paying a teacher or having like a very organized like class for yourself. It could be, but this could even just be being the student of life and allowing life to teach you and gathering up so much wisdom and applying your own personal experiences to that, and being a very unique mentor and teacher for other people in a very casual setting as well, just by giving advice to friends or strangers, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I'm just seeing the energy of education, being the student teacher, very strong this week. We have the Truth card coming out. The truth will be revealed. Also, these birds here, they just give me this energy of sharp mind and clarity, okay? When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord, take me over and speak through me. Yeah, and I think that message is really beautiful, of knowing when to talk and when to be silent, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the student-teacher archetype, because it's like, when you're the student, you stay silent, you listen, you learn, you gather up that information, and then at the right moments, the universe will guide you towards people or scenarios where you feel really guided to speak and impose your wisdom and give your advice and teach others. So there's really, really, really strong student-teacher energy for Aries this week, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm also seeing here something about like some of you might be an apprentice or might be learning something from someone who has been there and done that, having like a coach who you aspire to be. I'm seeing here taking advice from someone who you would like to be in their shoes, okay? You would like to be more like them, and finding teachers like that for yourself, even if they're free teachers online, you know, free public speakers, TED Talks, finding someone who you want to have more of their energy and just listening and learning. But also you have quite a lot to teach as well. So moving on with the energy oracle, you have woman holding a heart. Okay, there is definitely some love here for sure. Positive love, beautiful love. The number 44 might be important for you. Also, repeating fours in general, that just gives off the energy of stability here. So I'm seeing here someone very loyal, very stable, either in your life or entering your life, who has a lot of love for you. Now, it does specifically say woman, so this person is someone with strong divine feminine energy. Now, I don't really care about gender at all, but there are definitely people who have more divine feminine, divine masculine, more yin, more yang, and those yin and yang attributes, that energy of the world at large, always balance each other out one way or another. So I see you attracting someone this week who has a lot of strong divine feminine energy within them. Very nurturing, very reflective, very wise, you know, all the beautiful divine feminine energy, creative, not afraid to be themselves, and they have a heart full of love for you. So hopefully we'll see more about that. We're going to do 9 tarot cards this week, 3 rows of 3. I say that as if we don't do that every week, but we have the 8 of Swords coming out as your first card. So I always look at the first card as kind of where you're coming from and your recent past, like the past few weeks and months. And so I do see here some kind of like overthinking might have been affecting you in the past few weeks and months, feeling a little bit tied up, not really sure what to do next. And I'm just seeing here like a sense of stagnancy, or your energy being stalled here, like where should I go from here? So let's see what the next card is. Maybe it'll give us some more insights on that. We have the Emperor. Okay, this is a pretty good card. This is showing some really good organization and making logical actions forward in life. You know, the Emperor is the divine masculine, and I see you and also I always associate the Emperor with Aries here with that skull. I see you taking on your power more, coming out of a brief period of just overthinking, feeling a little bit lost. This energy here of the Eight of Swords, it just feels lost to me. I feel like this is where you've been, and luckily I see that kind of improving this week already. Feeling more organized, more motivated, and taking a lot of action, okay? Aries, you guys move quickly. You know, you take actions, actionable steps. You're the epitome of like divine masculine energy, in my opinion. And I see you taking on that this week and making moves towards your dreams, like actionable steps. Like if you keep preparing, like say you're gonna move in a month and you kept procrastinating, packing up your things, organizing everything. I feel this random burst of energy coming through this week, and you just like do it. You do a lot, you get a lot done, and you're feeling motivated, you're feeling inspired. The third card out for you is the Ace of Swords in reversed. Okay, so there is a kind of mental clarity, a new direction coming through for you, but you can't see it just yet. I feel like it's in the works. I feel like it's in development right now. And I do feel like one thing that you've been struggling with this year has been just overthinking, this clouded mind, clouded memory, I want to say. I don't know why that came through, but Ace of Swords reversed, you know, this is a card of just, I don't know, feeling a little bit mentally blocked, or like your direction isn't quite clear. But let's see what else comes out. Okay, we're now on the second row this week. Fourth card out, we have the High Priestess. Yes, I love it. Very spiritual, very psychic. All you psychonauts out there, this is your week, okay? All of you people who love developing your psychic abilities, connecting spiritually, talking to spirit guides, meditating, yoga. I see you doing so much of it this week. The High Priestess, like you are seeing things extremely clearly when it comes to everyone around you. I think the problem that you might have sometimes is kind of acting on your own intuition when it comes to your personal life, okay? And I struggle with that too. You could be the most intuitive, psychic person in the world. You can see other people really clearly, read their lives, past, present, future, really clearly, give really accurate advice. But then your intuition is still quite as strong when it comes to your own life. It's just that ego that we all have has a tendency to get in the way and not listen to our intuition. This week I see a shift happening here. I don't know if you're taking on a certain practice, like meditating more, or even just like cleaning things up in your house, because I don't know about you guys, but that's always my thing. Like whenever I'm feeling really overwhelmed mentally, I just start cleaning my house, and I love it. I love cleaning, and it almost like cleans my mind in a way, because your physical reality and your mental, emotional, spiritual reality, they're interlinked when we're on this world. This is like a middle world, the middle grounds spiritually, where everything is kind of balanced, everything is equal. The fabric of this universe, this plane of existence that we're living in, is balance, completely neutral. You know, spirit is not good or bad. It's both simultaneously. It's not light or shadow. It's both simultaneously. It's not yin or yang. It's both simultaneously. You get what I'm saying? And we actually see that here too, represented with the black and the white. And she is integrating both here. Anyways, that was kind of a tangent, but I see you kind of taking that wisdom upon yourself this week, where it's like you're aligning your external reality to match what you want internally. You know, they always say if you want to change your external reality, you got to change your internal reality. But I see you almost doing the opposite too, because it does work both ways. You know, if you are feeling really cloudy minded, overthinking, sometimes the solution to that is just getting in your physical environment, cleaning up. Like, people's homes are magic, for example. Your home, your environment, it is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your energy. Even if you just have a room, if you're only renting a room, that room is a reflection of you. Your energy. So when you do clean up your physical environment, you also clean up your internal environment as well. So I don't know, I'm seeing here that you're kind of taking this beautiful balance and just making sure that both physical and internal realities are harmonized and peaceful so that you can get stuff done, okay? Center of your spread is the moon. Ooh, you have the moon right next to the high priestess. Okay. I would not be surprised if there was some type of huge epiphany that comes through for you this week, huge change in your emotions. And, for example, some of you guys, if you were like really hooked and stuck on someone from your past, for instance, this week there might be a sudden shift where you're like mentally in this space of like, this almost higher space mentally where you're like, everything happens for a reason and you're able to let it go. I don't know. I'm seeing some huge internal shift going on with you. Your perspective is changing. It feels like an epiphany coming through that changes your life, or maybe even some type of teaching, because teachers, mentors in our life, they act as like in-person spirit guides. They can trigger these huge epiphanies within us that change everything about our lives. There has been books and videos that I can name very exactly that changed my life. And I see something like that coming through for you. So I wouldn't, recently in a lot of readings, I've been seeing this message of like distancing yourself from technology. But in your reading, I'm actually seeing quite the opposite. Use technology, use all of these beautiful blessings of the digital age to inspire yourself. But balance that out with actual action, because there's no point in reading all of these beautiful books, watching all these videos, surrounding yourself with the best teachers, the best speakers to motivate yourself if you're not doing anything with that wisdom, okay? If you're just hoarding wisdom up in your big old brain there, and we see there in this card, there's a physical representation of that, all of that energy surrounding her head space. It's actually binding her up, her physical body up. And I see the same thing when I do energy readings. Sometimes I see people, all of their energy is up around their head, up in their head space. And there's like a lack of energy in the other chakras down closer to earth. And in those people, I do see anxiety, I do see depression, I do see like just overthinking, and it's very common, especially in really intelligent people, academic people, and spiritual people, because we can just become addicted to like learning more and gathering up this wisdom. But if you're not taking physical action on that wisdom that you have just in your energy can kind of crush you a bit, Spirit wants you to share your wisdom with the world. The things that you've learned, the experiences that you've had, and the teachings that you've gathered, you are here to share that with the world. And in some way, shape, or form, express it physically. That gets your energy flowing. If you're hoarding knowledge and wisdom and not doing anything with it, it just stays stuck and stagnant in your brain, okay? And this could be, there's so many examples that I could use for this, but for a random example, say you're looking to start a business and you read like every book there is on starting a business, you listen to all these inspirational teachers, you gather all this wisdom, all of that energy is just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger around your headspace. And it's gonna create a stagnancy because it needs to flow out and into your physical reality. You need to take action on that wisdom. So we see something there with that. Sixth card out is the Knight of Wands in reversed. So this is your energy, as well as it could be someone in your life's energy. Knight of Wands reversed. This is warning against too much partying, too much, how can I say this? Not taking things seriously enough. That's how I really see the Knight of Wands when it comes out in reversed. It's like someone who's just not taking you seriously enough, or taking responsibility seriously enough. It could be you, maybe you've just been falling behind on tasks, on chores, your to-do list, it doesn't have to be that deep, or it could be deep. It could be someone in your life who is just kind of a player. They're not really taking you that seriously. It'll look different for everyone, but Knight of Wands in reversed, yeah. There's definitely a message here to get back down to business. I feel like this week, you definitely feel it intuitively as well, to restore balance, get back down to business, start taking physical actions to propel you forward in life. So this week is all about putting you more into your physical environment to balance out all of that extra overthinking that's been going on here. You know, when you're in this state of overthinking, sometimes I feel like people are a lot more prone to overthinking when they're not physically active enough. And by active, I don't necessarily mean running a marathon or exercising even. I mean like taking physical steps towards something, towards some goal. I feel like that's a really important part of the human experience that is largely misunderstood in today's society. It's so important to be productive for your mental health. And I feel like sometimes when people just kind of have a lot of free time on their hands, they just kind of can sit around and think things way too much. And, you know, I was trying to explain this to someone the other day who just so happens to be an Aries as well, ironically. And I was trying to explain to them, like, you're not less intelligent if you stop thinking as much. They were having a hard time understanding the fact that, like, they can stop thinking as much, and it doesn't mean that, like, you're not going to have any epiphanies. It doesn't mean you're going to be less spiritually connected. It doesn't mean that you're getting dumber. In fact, I honestly think that people make wiser decisions when they're able to think less, okay? Get more into your physical body. And that's another symptom. See, that person that I'm talking about in particular, they kind of had a big ego, all right? Now, I'm not saying you do, but that's another symptom of having so much energy around the head space. It can create kind of a stronger ego, and not in a good way. So that's another risk that you take there when you don't take action, you know? It could be like a sense of spiritual, academic superiority, and we definitely see that. You know who I'm talking about. You've definitely seen the type, you know, the people who get these high degrees, they spend so much of their time in the academic world, but they're really like full of themselves. Same thing with extremely spiritual people, ironically, you know, these people who have, and this is a common pitfall for people who have a first spiritual awakening, I've noticed. You know, you learn all this stuff that the majority of people don't notice and consider, and it can kind of become an ego trap really quickly for some people. I feel like I suffered with that actually when I was like 18. I had a really huge spiritual epiphany, and I had a bit of an ego because of it. I'm like, I feel like I'm this special person, this special messiah, and like no one else knows that I was like, I feel like a lot of people are like that, academic, spiritual people. Anyone who has a lot of headspace, you know, get it down to reality, get back down to earth, start taking action, okay? Sixth row out, seventh card. What am I saying? Third row out, seventh card for you. There we go. Page of Swords. Yeah, look at all those new ideas, fresh inspiration. Oh my gosh, I mean, even see them here, like reading a book. There's so much mental activity going on this week for you, so much learning and teaching. The Page of Swords is the student energy here, and see, all these light bulbs are going off because of information that she's reading. So I see you here having some type of teacher or mentor in your life, whether you know them or not, whether you pay for them or not, you know, could be free, could be on the internet, could be an author. It's just really striking up inspiration within you this week, which is wonderful. And I feel like this eventually will cause you to be the teacher yourself and allow you to create something that is beautiful. Eighth card out is the Seven of Swords. So lightening up your load a bit. You know, I'm getting this here. It's very similar to the energy of the Knight of Wands in reverse. It's just someone who doesn't take things seriously. And that is a message of the Seven of Swords. So in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, they're wearing polka dots, which means they're like kind of pranking someone. They're being silly by stealing an army's swords and only leaving them 2 swords behind, but they're taking 5. And in this deck, you know, the swords are represented by feathers, so he's taking most of these crow's feathers, but he's only leaving 2 behind. And he's being really sneaky about it in the nighttime. And this is important because it's right underneath the moon here. You know, in the darkness of nighttime, it's easier to get away with stuff. It's easier for people to not see what you're doing. And so I just see here, there may be, for some of you, someone in your life who is kind of they've been getting away with more than they should have, not taking you seriously enough. And, they could even love you deeply. They could have strong feelings for you deeply, but through their actions, may not be taking you seriously enough. And this doesn't have to be a romantic situation. It could be any type of situation. Someone just not taking your perspective seriously enough, feeling a little bit offended by that. Even though psychically you sense that they have lots of love for you and they care about you deeply, it still doesn't affect that behavior. You deserve respect. So that's something I would be aware of, okay? And the Truth card came out as well. I feel like some of you guys... Now, here's the thing. I want to remind you, every zodiac sign has different levels of maturity, different levels of where they're at in life and their lessons in life, different ages. So this isn't going to apply to everyone, but I do feel like for some of you this week, an important truth will be discovered and come to the surface that I feel like you've been kind of denying. All right, like your intuition, and going back to your intuition, telling you something very clearly, and it's harder because your ego is there and telling you like something that you want to hear as opposed to what your intuition is actually saying. And for a while, I feel like your intuition was trying to tell you this truth of a person or of a situation, but it feels more like a person for a lot of you guys. And you just didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to admit it. It was like you were in denial, kind of, which is why your first card out was the Eight of Swords. It causes confusion for you, deep confusion and overthinking, when you're not listening to your intuition, okay? When a person's actions don't line up with their words, it creates extreme confusion for you. It creates so much turmoil and overthinking, Love is work, yes, but true love is simple. You won't have to constantly question someone in a true love situation where they're treating you right. When your intuition is telling you this person's not treating you right, and you don't want to listen to it, that is what can create overthinking, anxiety, so many different symptoms that will come up after you actually meet this person, get invested in them. And so center of your spread is the Moon card, which can show confusion there, confusing yourself. And I feel like this week, an important truth, an important thing will come through and give you more clarity into this. Yeah, interesting how all of this is connecting. Ninth card out for you is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It's time to be productive. All right, so there's a lot to unpack here, Aries. It seems like there's so much going on in your life. It's kind of all over the place here, but one thing to take away from this is listen to your intuition when it comes to people. If there is a certain person you're really confused about, okay, ask yourself, what is my intuition truly saying here? Okay, because when you don't listen to your intuition, that intuition will torture you, especially being a very psychically sensitive person, which you definitely are with the High Priestess here. Your intuition will literally haunt you and torture you if you don't listen to it, okay? So, yeah, but we do have love here. Like, let's remember, we had the woman holding a heart, so there is someone with deep, deep love here. Yeah, I feel like it's almost protective, so I'm getting parental, teacher vibes from that. It could also be romantic love, of course, but yeah, I don't know. It's time to take more action, get out of your head, because you've been in your head for too long. Once you start moving some of that energy down into your physical reality, things will be a lot more peaceful and like clarity will come through. And we see that with the Page of Swords, okay? That is your reading, guys. Thank you for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want the fullest overview of this week ahead, watch for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I also offer personal readings on my website, spiritpsychic.org. The link to that is always in the description. Bye-bye.